Hey, what's up, and welcome to another episode of Bloodhouse, the show where we talk about art house horror movies. I'm your host, Joshua Conkle.
And I am your co-hostess with the mostest, Drusilla Adeline. How are we doing this week, Josh?
Pretty good. So I did a roundabout, like I had the best week ever. I did have a good week. I just got back from Ojai, where I spent a couple of days celebrating my friend Christian, former guest. He was on the Don't Look Now episode, his birthday. So my boyfriend and Christian went to Ojai, and it was lovely.
That's so cute. I need to go to Ojai. It's supposed to be gorgeous and super cute, right?
It's only 90 minutes away. It's very charming. If you like wine, there's lots of that. I ran into a friend from college who I haven't seen from college, who was a bar manager there. She ran out into the street to grab me, so that was nice and strange and just one of those things.
Genuinely spooky a little bit. That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Nice.
How are you? What's going on?
I'm currently in lockdown.
Yeah.
There was a one of my coworkers appears to have tested positive for COVID-19.
Mm-hmm.
So, as a precaution, canceled all my weekend plans and have been locked down in my room, waiting for the point that I can reliably test. So I tested today, and it's negative. So I'm going to test tomorrow. And hopefully, if that's negative, I'll be all good. So,
yeah.
But a lot of people are getting COVID right now. My ex just got COVID. My best friend just got COVID. Like I said, one of my coworkers, who's a good friend of mine, just got COVID. And it's like, it's really, really rampant out there right now. It's worse. The numbers are worse right now than they were in like the worst of 2020 and 2021. Yeah. It's just no one's testing as much. So please be careful. Please be wearing your masks. And if you think you've been exposed or you think you might even be feeling bad, stay in, chill out, get tested. Mm-hmm. Please take this fucking seriously. Even if you're vaccinated, you can still pass it on. You can still have a bad time. And people who are immunocompromised can still fucking die. And so many wonderful, amazing people are. We need to protect them and keep them safe. So that's my soapbox for the episode.
Have you gotten to watch anything fun while you've been isolating?
You know what? I pulled out a stack of movies and I was going to watch all of these movies, and I was so excited. And then I just bummed around and watched season 12 of Supernatural.
I can't believe I forgot that you were watching Supernatural.
I'm so close to being done, and that's part
season
of the
12. Why. You're really far, because the last time you mentioned it 2 episodes ago, you were on season, I don't know, 4 or 5 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Yeah, I've gotten up to the Steve Aoki season.
Steve
Aoki, yep.
Yeah.
He's now one of the head writers, according to the credits. So that's lovely and cute. It's getting absolutely batshit bananas. I tried to watch, I will say, Raging Bull for the first time. While like early in the morning yesterday, as like my first watch of COVID lockdown, and I turned it off like halfway in.
Oh no, I've never seen it.
I have never seen it either, but I'm the big like film school kid. I like designed artwork for Scorsese. I'm a huge Scorsese fan, and it's like the one big one I'd never seen. People like would always get so mad at me when I'm like, oh yeah, I've never seen Raging Bull. I don't give a fuck about sports. Sorry. So I was like, all right, it's streaming right now. Let me go give it a shot and give it a watch. And like, yikes. It's not my cup of tea. It's the main character that De Niro plays, who it's a true story. It's based on this man's life, and this man was also hired to be the consultant on the film and was there every day on set. Was just like horribly, uncontrollably violent and abusive man at the best of times. And also like had a super fucked up relationship with a 15-year-old he married.
Oh, really?
And then like horribly like abused And then was later like supervising the film about him abusing his child bride. And I was like,
that's so weird.
I'm not into this, guys. Like, the acting is good. The cinematography is good.
Yeah.
Thelma Schoonmaker's editing is great. Really wasn't the choice, though. I'd rather not be watching a movie about someone trying to reel in their wildly violent and abusive older brother. Have enough of that in my real life, thank you very much.
His work is kind of a blind spot for me. I appreciate so much about Scorsese as a person, you know, all the work that he does for film preservation and stuff like that. And when people come from him for like saying Marvel things, it's like basically no living human on earth does more for the medium of film than Martin Scorsese does as one person.
I love him so much. He's one of the nicest people I've ever like gotten to work with. And I'm such a huge fan of After Hours and such a huge...
After Hours is my favorite one, but I haven't seen that many of them. Like, I've never seen The Godfather. I've never seen...
He didn't make The Godfather.
Oh, see, that's how little I know. I just think like, oh, Italian mafia, Italian Americans, mafia.
Yeah, he made The Godfather and Scarface. These are all the same director.
That's what in my head they are. Because I know, I mean, that's truly how little I know.
Kid. Yeah. But, I mean, like, Goodfellas is great. Casino is great. The Aviator is great.
Casino I've never seen.
The Last Temptation of Christ is great.
I've just never seen any of these movies.
Willem Dafoe is Jesus and David Bowie is Pontius Pilate.
I used to work with the editor of The Last Temptation of Christ in in my day job at a post-production house in New York. And he was like, we would go to his apartment to do some edits sometimes, which was just a normal Manhattan one bedroom. And he's like, this is the apartment that The Last Temptation of Christ bought me. And this was like in 2010 or something, you know, like much later.
I love that for him. I love that so much.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never disliked a Scorsese movie.
Mm-hmm.
Until now. And I like strongly disliked it. So, I don't know, man. This is wild. I guess hit or miss. It's just very odd that that's one that's only been spoken about for years and years and years as being like one of the greatest movies ever made. And I'm just like, what's wrong with men? What's wrong with all of these dudes who are like, this is the pinnacle of cinema?
That's why I never saw any of those movies, really, is because I'm always been suspicious of movies that men like.
As well you should be, I find. Yeah. But Carlito's Way is great. That's a De Palma movie that's a very, like, dude gangster movie, but it's amazing. You should see that one. It's very, very good. There's a few other ones. I mean...
Love After Hours.
After Hours is the shit.
It is the shit.
And so is The King of Comedy.
Oh, I've heard that's great, too.
The Clash is in like King of Comedy.
Oh, wow.
They play a gang of street toughs in the background.
Oh, that's so cool.
I mean, like, the dude made great movies. You should see New York, New York with Liza Minnelli.
Yeah, that I have seen, but not since, I mean, I was, like, very young when I saw that.
I adore that movie. People who shit on it are maroons. Yeah. Have you seen anything amazing lately, Josh?
Yes, actually. I saw two cool things. I watched this movie from the 70s called God Told Me To, made by Larry Cohen, who made The Stuff, which is a movie I love. And I loved it. What a wild ride. It's very campy, but effective and fun and unpredictable.
Is that the one with Andy Kaufman?
Yes, he does have a role in it, and it starts with all of these mass shootings taking place in Manhattan in New York in the 70s, of course, at a time when that is quite shocking. Today, perhaps it unfortunately would be less shocking, but everyone who's committing these crimes says that God told them to do it, and then this investigator, disgraced policeman, is getting closer and closer to figuring it out, and it goes to aliens. It goes to Jesus Christ. It goes to the wildest, most unpredictable places that you could imagine. There's like fun gender stuff in there that's kind of progressive for the 70s.
I love Larry Cohen. I'm such a huge fan of Larry Cohen.
I love those killer baby movies. Mm-hmm. I love the stuff.
I love the stuff. It's Alive and It's Alive 2 are so good. Yep. I even like some of his 80s, 90s kind of like whiffed movies like Ambulance. Like Ambulance isn't perfect, but Ambulance is super fun and has some great ideas in it.
Q the Winged Serpent or whatever that's called.
Oh, Q the Winged Serpent with David Carradine.
Yeah. I remember trying to watch that at one point, but didn't really make it very far. But I love the stuff and It's Alive.
I can't get enough of the stuff.
Enough is never enough of the stuff. And then I watched a new movie called Watcher, which I liked very much. It's one of my favorite horror movies that I've seen in a long time. And it's, it kind of reminds me of like Rosemary's Baby. It even has the same font and color as Rosemary's Baby in the opening.
Oh, very nice.
But it's about like a American woman who moves to Romania with her husband, who's Romanian, and he has a job in Bucharest. And so she's really lonely. She doesn't speak Romanian. The film doesn't translate any of the Romanian, so she is just surrounded by people that are speaking a language that you don't understand probably, and that she doesn't understand. And then she realizes someone across the street in the apartment above is watching her, and she's trying to figure out who it is because they seem to get closer and closer and closer to her. And it's just a really good old fashioned, really tightly paced, but deliberately paced thriller. And it's very good. I really, really liked it.
It sounds like the beloved classic, The Tenant.
It is quite a bit like The Tenant. A movie that Drusilla loves, and I love less than her.
I'm sold. We saw the trailer for The Watcher when a bunch of friends and I went out to go see Crimes of Passion. Not Crimes of Passion, Crimes of the Future.
Yes.
And I think it also played when you and I went to go see Men.
Yes, it did.
Both times I was like, ooh, this looks great. This looks delicious.
Much like the movie we will discuss today, it is the debut film from a young woman filmmaker, and it's a very assured debut. I mean, very, very, very good.
Oh, that's so exciting. I cannot. Yeah. Is it in theaters or is it in streaming? Where's it streaming?
Yeah. I got it from Apple, I think.
Okay. So it's rental.
It's like VOD, cool. $6 or whatever rental.
I'll do that. I need something to watch tonight because I'm still locked down. Good. Perfect.
Really good. And it's cool to watch something in Romania because it kind of feels like Berlin and Possession. It's like a little bit gritty. It's strange because it's not American, but it's a big city. So it's kind of got some glamour to it. It's cool. It's cool. Really cool.
I'm very excited to see it. I've only heard good things, but it's also kind of been going by the wayside a little bit because it's not your big fancy A24 push grief art house movie. But it's also not your like campy slasher Happy Death Day Blumhouse kind of movie. It's much more, it seems like a much more traditional paranoia thriller.
It is, and it doesn't have that. What I appreciated about it is it doesn't have the A24 tragedy backstory. You start in the present. She has no backstory that you see. There's no trauma. It's just a woman who's being watched by a weirdo across the street, and it's like very refreshing in that way. And it's like very deliberately paced, but tight. I mean, tight as a drum, not an ounce of fat. And just, it was great.
No trauma in sight, just vibing. I love it.
Just vibes, yeah. Shall we talk about the movie of the day?
Yes, let's take a little boat trip out to Poland.
Splash, yes. So, this is a movie from 2015, directed by, I'm going to do my best here, Agnieszka Szmoczynska. It is The Lure.
A to jest lokal nocny z zapojami wysokoalkoholowymi i tańcami.
Właściwie to są dzieci mojej dobrej znajomej.
Będą robiły u nas chórki i striptizy.
Musicie tylko dobrze bawić, reszta pójdzie sama.
Dobry wieczór bardzo szanownemu państwu. Przed państwem córki dancingu. Dwóch syrenek.
Chciałam pokazać się z najlepszej strony.
AKA Korki Dancingu, which is a direct translation to Daughters of Dancing, which is such a cute title.
Yeah.
It feels like an intentional homage to Daughters of Darkness. In a really, really cute way. But I love The Lure as a title, even though I can barely pronounce it.
I love The Lure as well. I liked it. This is the second time I saw it. I saw it when it was newer, like a year after it came out, and I liked it very much. But this time I really fell in love with it. I don't know. I mean, maybe it rewards you for repeat viewings, or probably I was drinking when I saw it the first time, honestly. But I really thought it was beautiful. How about you?
So I first saw this movie around the time that it played. Like, it has a super limited theatrical engagement when it first played in America. Like, it like came out for a week and then it was gone.
It was a festival movie, right? It premiered at Cannes or Sundance. Or...
It was a big Sundance hit. And it was bought up immediately by Janus Films, which had people going like, whoa, holy shit. Like, the like art house place that like puts out all the Fellini movies and Bergman stuff is going for this like weird Polish mermaid musical. Okay, shit. So that got everyone's ears up. And then they gave it a very limited release. This is before the days in which Janus Films had stuff like Drive My Car out in every AMC of the country.
Right.
And so, I mean, I was sold off of the concept and the fact that Janus was putting this out back in 2017, 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
And I was still fresh to LA, and so I was taking advantage of that and going to see as many, like, you know, coastal releases as possible. And I saw it at probably a Laemmle theater, and it just bowled me over, and I was instantly in love with it. Yeah. But I haven't seen it since because I loved it so much when I first saw it. I was afraid to rewatch it. I was afraid that, like, some bit of that magic that I first saw it with would be gone. And I'm so happy to report it's the opposite.
Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, good. This will be fun to talk about then.
Yeah, this movie is so much better on a rewatch. And, I mean, I'll get into this movie, talk about it later, but, like, you know, 5-6 years on after having, you know, transitioned so much, like, literally, since then, this movie has a very different read than when I saw it when it first came out. And, it's so good.
Okay, well, quick synopsis. This is a Polish mermaid horror musical. It follows two young mermaids named Silver and Golden, who one night are splish-splashing in Poland, and they see on the shore a band called Figs and Dates. And the members of Figs and Dates, I'm not sure if these people are a family or not, but they read like a family. It's a middle-aged man and woman and a teenage boy who's the bassist. And they're drunk on the beach and partying, and the mermaids sing them a magical little song that's like, help us come ashore. We promise we won't eat you. Don't worry, darling, etc., etc.,
We won't eat you, eat you, eat you, eat you.
Yeah. And then basically you cut to the band has brought these mermaids onto shore and to the club where they work as like a nightclub act. And the girls now have legs, and the girls are thrust into the world of humans and are trying to fit in. One of them is very distrustful of humans, and the other is falling in love with the young bassist. And all of this comes to a very sad ending. And it's sort of inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid, which, if you don't know the story that the Disney film is based on, is quite sad because Ariel turns into sea foam at the end because Eric loves someone else. Yeah, anything to add or amend about that?
I think the other thing I would add is the pretty important part of the Little Mermaid lore of that when a mermaid loses her tail and gets legs, she also loses her voice, which, considering this is a musical about nightclub singers, is kind of important.
Yeah, and that's kind of important too. Like, when the band brings them into the nightclub, the two girls quickly become backup singers and strippers for the band, and then eventually their own act, which is called The Lure. So they are singers as well. Yeah, I loved this movie. I loved, well, first of all, this movie is set in the 80s, which I didn't realize until I read the Wikipedia, because to me, it does not look like the 80s. It doesn't sound like the 80s. I just had no idea. I thought it took place in 2015 because that's what it looks like and sounds like to me. I mean, it is stylized, so I just thought it was like Wes Anderson or something. I thought, Poland is a little bit behind the times, but the music sounds pretty contemporary for 2015. The aesthetic isn't very 80s. I was surprised by that. Am I alone?
There's the first song that you hear Figs and Dates performing at the nightclub when they still have the mermaid girls kind of like hidden away in their dressing room feels like a very like Donna Summer disco song.
Right, it's a 70s song.
It's a very 70s song, and then we get a few very like classic Hollywood musical number songs. There's a great one at like a mall that I'm obsessed with.
That is like a shopping montage, basically makeover montage, and it's great, beautiful.
It's amazing. It's the most like standard Hollywood Technicolor glam musical bit in the entire film.
Yeah.
But then the rest of the music tends to come from the two mermaid sisters, and all of that music sounds super modern.
Yeah, it sounded very 2010s to me, just like completely contemporary.
And I think that's absolutely by choice. And I think that's like, it's a good way of making the way the presence that these two have feel more otherworldly and like separate and like futuristic and amazing. So you can kind of understand why they would be such a like overnight success and a hit. Because all of the other musicians that they like either, you know, play backup with or show up for, there's a great scene with punk band
yes,
that feels very of the 80s, which kicks a lot of ass.
It's an awesome song. It's totally
amazing.
Cool.
But I mean, I didn't know this movie was set into the 80s until you just mentioned it. It was another one where
it's
like
just a weird thing that I saw on the wiki and I was like, what? That's not the 80s.
I mean, it kind of like, it adds layers to it if you know that, but if you don't know it, you don't need to. Because if you don't, then it just feels like, you know, well constructed and anachronistic, which like, awesome, cool, whatever.
Yeah. I also don't know what was happening in Poland politically in the 80s as an American, and that's kind of important because the mermaids are not Polish, and they say that one of the men asked them where they learned Polish, and they said in Hungary. So I don't know what was going on in Poland in the 80s, but it's actually important to the story because the director said that this movie was an allegory for an immigrant experience and how locals exploit immigrants specifically within the sex industry, which I thought was a really interesting lens for the movie.
Very much so. And the way they're treated as an allegory for like foreign immigrants coming into a new country reminds me a lot of Cat People, the original Val Lewton film Cat People.
Yeah.
Because it is once again, I feel like in this movie, Golden and Silver are the two sisters. Golden is the black-haired one who is a lot more queer and a lot less trusting of humans in general, and has a bit more of a hunger for flesh. And Silver is the blonde, and she's kind of the aerial stand-in, and she's the one who falls in love with the bass player. I feel like she is a pretty good like one-to-one for Irina from Cat People, of like a soft-spoken, fairly demure immigrant girl who has, you know, may or may not turn into some kind of animal.
Yeah.
On occasion, and who falls in love with a guy who's a very standard, strapping, upstanding human gentleman of the country that they're in. That doesn't super go well. Because of views on immigrants and the way that allegory ends, but also can be seen through a trans lens, which I've always said that about Cat People, but the lure takes that and ratchets it up like tenfold. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we can get to the surgery later. There is a surgery in this movie.
And it's amazing.
It's really cool and actually very heartbreaking. And then that way, I don't know, maybe that's the wrong word to use for it if you're looking at it as a trans narrative, because I don't mean to insinuate that being trans is tragic or anything like, but in this situation, like, she gives up her mermaid tail to be human in an effort to get someone to love her, and it does not go well. These girls are topless for a lot of the movie, both because they play strippers, but also because they're mermaids and don't have like bodily shame of humans. And it's interesting. The movie like uses the male gaze against you a lot of the time, you the viewer, and uses it to like, I don't know, satirize different things. And I just thought it was a really cool, interesting choice.
I mean, they're not only topless, but they're kind of technically fully nude through a good majority of the film. However, as is pointed out in one of the first scenes, they are like Barbie dolls.
They have no butt crack and no vagina.
Yep.
It's just smooth down there. It
is smooth. There's no creases, no holes. They are watertight.
Yeah. And the aesthetic of the mermaids is cool too, because instead of like the aerial tail, they have like a long kind of like eel pointed tail that's like spiky and scary. And then they have spiky or sharp teeth, fangs as mermaids. It's really cool.
Yeah. They have a mouth full of fangs, which are like awesome. They're super, and they can sing through them, which hot. But then the tails are like 6 feet long, very scaly, super realistic. And you mostly get to see them like walking around or like laying in a bathtub or a big bowl of champagne on a stage with their tails. But at the beginning, you get like the only shot of them like turning into tails. Yeah. And it's really beautifully done. You kind of expect, oh, we're gonna like cut away, hear a sound effect, and come back, and now they're in the tail costume. But you get like a tight close up going from her belly button down to her legs as you see scales start to just like overlap and ripple and like shine down her body. And then by the time it gets to her thighs, it's just like full eel tail.
Yeah.
And they're like big and they have weight and they like move independently.
Brown and green and kind of like icky feeling in a cool way. It's cool.
Yeah, this has the feeling of like, not that they came out of the fresh, sparkling Disney crystal clear waters of wherever in the hell colonialist part of the world that The Little Mermaid was supposed to be set, but this feels like, oh, they came out of like a dirty lake.
Yeah,
they came out of like
the brackish Polish sea or whatever, and it's frightening. They're frightening as mermaids. This movie has a very threatening version of the mermaids, which is really cool. They do have. Oh, sorry, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was going to say I want to talk about that really fast because there's a good bit of gore in this movie because they eat their victims' hearts, but first attack their larynx and kind of like bite their throats out very vampire style, so that their victims can't scream. And again, kind of goes with the whole like voice theme throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And then they eat their heart. But every single time they do any of that, it's just, maybe I'm alone here, but really, really hot.
Oh, yes. There's a scene where Golden kills a man, and she takes a man home from a bar and kills him in the back of his car. It's very sexy. It reminded me of, oh God, what's that? Trouble Every Day. That sex scene in Trouble Every Day.
What should have been like the least sexy example of all of this is a scene where they're like backstage about ready to go on to a show, and someone who has done something to the girls previously apologizes to them, and Golden says, "Oh, it's fine, we don't care," and then immediately bites his thumb off. And that shouldn't be hot.
Yeah.
But it's really hot. What the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah. Very much like Raw, when that whole finger scene in Raw. It was like that a bit. The women do also have like fish vaginas on their tails, and at one point a man is just like sticking his hand in Silver's vagina, and it seems very casual.
Yep.
Which again sort of speaks to the exploited sex worker of it all, and like sort of the banality of having your body molested by other people. There's a lot of interest in the body in this movie, which is obvious because they're mermaids, and you know, that's all. It's like, you know, it's also sort of like about adolescence, because as the girls' bodies change, they smell fishy, quote unquote. And it's like your body doing kind of gross things that are also sexual. Yeah.
I mean, it's also implied when they're first introduced to the owner of the nightclub that they wouldn't be of age to be in the nightclub.
Yes.
And he gets very upset that how dare you bring in these potentially underage girls. And then they're like, no, it's okay, they're mermaids. And he's like, cool. Well, we can make money off of them then. No worries.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, also the band Figs and Dates, we find out at some point, isn't paying them. So they really are just like truly being exploited. So the black-haired one, Golden, meets a merman who's living a life on land. He's all scarred and hot and punky, and he kind of tells her, is helping turn her against the humans. She joins his punk band. Meanwhile, Silver has fallen in love with the bassist of Figs and Dates and has moved into his house and is kind of like playing housewife. And it's really sad and feels like very bland for her being a mermaid. And at a certain point, she decides to have essentially a bottom surgery where she has her tail removed and replaced with human legs.
The way that the bottom surgery scene is done is amazing.
So cool.
Because it's done as a musical number, which kick ass.
Yeah.
We love some singing on the operating table. But it's also done almost entirely as an overhead shot, getting closer and closer and closer into the figures, where she is on a table and then another woman is on a table next to her. Both, they're not operating tables. They look more like they're there for organ harvesting. They're like laying on beds of ice. The woman next to her has been cut in half and is just laying there separated from her lower half with her organs kind of like sloshed out in between.
Yeah.
And she's singing a very kind of melancholic song about being picked up from the doctor's office. As they like push in and the doctors walk around and bring out a buzzsaw and slice into her abdomen, and then just there's a beautiful like what I find to be an absolutely beautiful scene where they just like casually like lift up the mermaid tail and lift up the lady legs, slap them down, slap them down, and sew them up. And the other woman's still alive and she just gets a mermaid tail.
Yeah,
I want that woman's story.
What happens to her, but like that woman gets to become a mermaid, it seems. Well, I guess who knows if she would be able to breathe underwater and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, Silver loses her mermaid tail and thus loses her voice, just like she was warned.
As soon as they finish cutting through her abdomen, she can no longer sing. And it just kind of goes up to nothing. But then the vocal track is immediately replaced by Golden singing for her. And then at the end of the scene, we cut away to Golden at the piano singing to her sister while she's in recovery. And her sister's like, Golden is super supportive of her going through this, even though they've been warned that if she loses her tail and falls in love with a man and he marries someone else, she will turn into sea foam.
Yeah.
There is a huge danger to this. But her sister, who is like not into men, not into humans, and is very much into keeping her tail, is like crazy supportive of this and so like madly in love and supportive of her sister. It's awesome.
It's also worth mentioning that they have a plan to go to America at some point. And at some point near the beginning of the movie, when they're in the nightclub, Golden says to Silver, what would you think about having some fun here for a while? So the plan is to just like stay here for, maybe a couple of days or a week or so and then swim to America. So that's part of this like immigrant narrative as well, I think. Yeah.
No, there's definitely, I think, a part of the immigrant narrative and a part of the trans narrative is this idea of assimilationism, which Silver is absolutely following this path, and Golden is not even remotely. She's like actively wanted by the police for eating people. But even the police detective who's after her is like, not really
there's
looking
like
to tie her.
There's a whole extended thing where, you know, she's killed this man in the back of his car, and then the police are after her, and then there's a policewoman that tracks her down, and then immediately the policewoman is in love with her or like sexually attracted to her, and there's like a small little lesbian love story between the two of them.
It's amazing.
It's really cool.
Honestly, their song together when they're like getting in the car and driving off is my favorite song in the whole movie. It has the lyric, I had to ask daddy, but he had no reservations but for sluts. I was like,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And the carnal passion expressed in the lyrics is all about, I'm going to take you to Disneyland. And like, it's my favorite number in the whole movie. And it ends with them consummating their love, their passion for each other, by the policewoman holding her gun to Golden's head while Golden bears her fangs down on her throat.
It's so cool.
It's so hot! But yeah, so Golden is like joining punk bands. She is killing and eating men. She is not putting up with the like physical and sexual abuse at the nightclub, which, you know, Silver seems a little bit more accepting of.
Yeah.
And Silver is trying to lead this assimilationist lifestyle. She's having the bottom surgery. She gets told by the bassist that she's into when they're first getting physical that, this can never work because I'm only ever going to see you as a fish.
Right.
Which... oh God, Jesus Christ, that hit so hard. And after that, you still are going to be in a band with this man, let alone keep trying to fuck him?
Well, this whole movie, Drusilla, is about the dumb things that we do for dick.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, really, it's like every terrible decision is about making this dumb man love you.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible. It's really brutal to watch. It makes me think of Amy Winehouse's "Tears Dry on Their Own." You know, that song about, I'll just be my own best friend and not fuck myself in the head with stupid men.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it feels. It's like Golden knows that what is in store is not good, and Silver is just in love, and she'll do anything to get this man to love her back, and it's brutal.
I mean, it's also a very like, you know. It's both about heterosexual relationships, or just like relationships with men, period.
Yeah.
But on top of that, it's also like she's trying to be seen by this culture at large. She's trying to like be this performer. She's trying to be seen as a human. She's trying to be seen as a member of a cisgender, heteronormative, Caucasian, capitalist, misogynist society. And like they'll pat her on her head and say, "Don't you look so cute up there on stage?" Yeah. And sure, we'll fuck you. Sure, we'll finger your fish pussy. Sure, sure, you can get bottom surgery, but you're still always going to be that fish to us.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Golden is just the fucking like queer punk cannibalist. Yeah. And you know what? She's fucking right, man.
Yeah, she is right. And of course we get the bait and switch because there's the big makeover montage where they're taken to the mall and bought clothes and they're like, we're going to find out what all of this is about. It seems great. We're going to fit in. It'll be wonderful. And of course it's not that.
Bait and switch. I see what you did there.
Oh, unintentional. I would never on purpose make a pun. I think there's also like a B story in this about women aging because the lead singer of Figs and Dates is a middle-aged woman who is very beautiful and glamorous. But when these two younger women come on the scene, her role is kind of taken away from her. There's a scene where she's seen giving someone a blowjob behind the crack in a door, and it feels very sad, kind of. And it's just coded as like she's being replaced by these young women, but she's also like a mother figure to them. There's a scene where she's literally like breastfeeding them in a kind of fantasy montage. It just I thought that aspect to it was interesting, and just there's a whole thing about mermaids probably in general, but in this movie for sure, about how much women's beauty is what's important and like the thing that gives them value. And so as you age and as you lose that, like what value do you have? I felt like that was in the movie too.
This movie really feels like just a dissertation on the like crimes and sins of like a cis heteronormative capitalist society in every shape and form. Because even the Figs and Dates band family, the mother who we were just talking about, and the father who's the drummer, and the like piece of shit
young man
who's the bass player, it's also like heavily implied that family is super abusive, and that the dad is like very abusive to both the mother and the son.
And there's substance abuse in the mix.
One of my favorite scenes kind of comes out of nowhere. And all three members of the family are like drugged out, strung out, laying on the floor of their apartment. Each have like IVs stuck into the middle of their arms by this woman who is not one of our main characters.
Yeah, I was like, who is this woman? And she's singing a song and she's like killing these people by overdose. It's so interesting. And it turns out to be a fantasy. It's not actually happening. But
but we've seen this woman like dancing around the nightclub earlier in the film, and she's kind of just been this like presence. And then now all of a sudden this whole fantasy of her like drugging and slowly killing.
She becomes a Greek chorus for like one scene only, sort of like, for lack of a better example, the doo-wop girls in Little Shop of Horrors, the urchins, but only for this one scene. It's so strange, and it's actually not even happening. It's just a fantasy. I thought that was a really interesting scene. The song is beautiful,
but it's beautiful and super, super on the nose.
Yeah,
and really, 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 really powerful. It's just this movie is so beautiful and achingly addictive in every like frame and every beat, and you're having so much fun even despite how shitty it's getting, until we get to the like last few seconds of the movie, and it's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, the ending, we won't spoil it, but it does feel inevitable, and it's very heartbreaking, and you know it's coming, and that doesn't lessen the pain of experiencing it at all.
It's all done in one shot, and that like transformation and shot is so beautifully rendered, and it's amazing, and it's so subtle, and I love it.
Yeah, I loved it too. One thing though I will mention, so the girls speak to each other telepathically, and it's like it's like in dolphin noises and whale sounds, and I have a thing where I really hate dolphins. I just really hate them.
I mean, dolphins are rapists.
They are rapists. Thank you very much. They're rapists. I think it's just like so easy to like, I think this goes back to like Lisa Frank stickers in my childhood. Yep. And like, it's so easy to like them. And I just feel like they seem smug. They think that they're cute. They rape. Their noises are awful. Their rubbery skin makes me feel weird. Like if I touched it, I feel like it would be gross.
So anyway, next week we're talking about the Day of the Dolphin.
It's just a weird thing about me. I don't know. I don't like dolphins. Sorry.
So this is something that I haven't really gotten into on the podcast, but it feels inevitable for this movie and specifically this discussion on dolphins. As a former scuba diver and currently still board certified and licensed advanced open water diver, rescue diver, I've dove with dolphins. And yeah, they're dicks. I've also dove with sharks, and they're like puppy dogs.
Oh, so, interesting.
I don't fucking know. And stingrays are like amazing. They killed Steve Irwin, but they're like the sweetest thing in the world. Yeah. So, bitch, I don't know. Turtles are also super cool.
I had a friend in college who I'll just call Rebecca. That's not her name. But she was with an older man who's in his 20s that she didn't really like and planned on dating and planned on dumping. Except that she became pregnant. And they were going on this vacation to Hawaii. So she decided that she would dump him after the vacation and not tell him that she was going to get rid of the baby. But they're on vacation in Hawaii and they go to this dolphin reserve or something. And it's like the kind of thing where you swim with the dolphins. And then suddenly the instructor lady is like, just so you know, if you're with child, the dolphins can sense it and they'll might give you some extra special attention. And so Rebecca is then immediately swarmed with dolphins who want to play with her. And she's like, I don't know why they're doing, because she's like going to get rid of the baby. And it's just like the most fucked up story ever.
No.
And I don't mean to laugh, but it's just... She laughed about it. She told it as like a really funny story.
That's another reason to hate dolphins. They fucking narc, man.
Yeah, they're narcs. Anyway, what would you pair with this movie if you were going to do a double feature?
See, I was literally just thinking about that. I mean, honestly, I'd pair this with Cat People. I think The Lure and Cat People are both movies about female sexuality, female identity, and otherness in a way that neither were intended to be trans.
Right.
But both are some of the most trans movies ever. And I don't know a single trans girl who's seen either and been like, I don't see it. All of them are like, well, The Lure, it's got a fucking bottom surgery scene in it, my guy. Like, it's just like,
yeah,
it's super obvious. But I think, even the fate of Cat People is pretty similar. Even the way the men treat her is pretty similar. Like, and there's also a dark-haired woman in Cat People who only shows up for one scene and calls her sister and then walks out. So maybe that's the golden of Cat People. Yeah. She's too cool to even put up with that RKO shit. I think that's what I would do. What about you, Josh?
This might be out on a limb, but I was thinking about the Czech film Daisies. I thought that would be an interesting because it has the same young woman duo, and in Daisies, they're just they're having a great time at other people's expense in a way that's like messy and selfish, but also delightful and joyous. And I don't know. There's just something about them that I think is fun together.
I should rewatch Daisies. I saw it in college. I very much enjoyed it, but it also very, very quickly became very grating and annoying to me.
Oh, it's an annoying movie.
It's a very annoying movie.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll watch it again someday soon.
Well, the other thing, I was a little bit scared to say this because I don't know where this movie sits, and particularly, honestly, with trans people. But I was thinking about Hedwig and the Angry Inch, and I know that trans people often don't like that movie, and I haven't thought about it in a long time. But watching this time, I was like, oh, this kind of feels like Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Okay, so literally while I was watching The Lure, I was thinking in my head, oh God, I really hope Josh doesn't bring up Hedwig and the Angry Inch. I really hope Josh doesn't bring up Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
Drusilla,
but you did!
So sorry.
No.
So sorry.
No. But you did, so it's finally given me the soapbox to get onto about, hey, I fucking hate that movie.
I know. Every trans person I know hates that movie.
We fucking hate that movie. It's the worst goddamn movie. If you like that movie, you should rewatch it and think about it for a second. It's so fucking awful. I mean, sorry, not to, nope. The floodgates are open. I'm going into it.
Go off. I did this, and I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
You didn't offend me at all.
I knew before I said it. I just.
You didn't offend me at all. I did not even think you were going to say it when you started that whole thing. I was like, "Where's Josh going with this? Is he going to talk about sleepaway camp or something?" And then I was like, "Oh, that. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. This has been a long time coming. Very few people, unless we like hang out in public and we're close enough that I will like bitch to you, know this about me, but I'm going to get straight into it. I fucking despise that movie. Many reasons. First of which, that whole movie and concept and everything was created by John Cameron Mitchell as a like comedy cabaret character for himself, and he based it on the lives of actual trans women in San Francisco, like infamous punk icon Jane County of the Electric Chairs, and used their real life traumas and existence for comedy. B, not crediting them. C, they all called him out, and he was like, nah, don't get mad at me, and loves to use the T slur all the time. Secondly, that movie ain't punk for shit. Not even in the least. That movie is like Disney punk. I hate the music so much. It's so bad. I hate his performance so fucking much. It's so grating and obnoxious. And the like gender essentialism and the like entire DNA and plot of that movie is dog shit. Like absolute dog shit. The whole like animated like yin yang love thing is super Origin like 90s love. Gay guy energy in a way that really sweeps trans people under the rug to like uplift cis gay identity, and it also just like wholeheartedly steals plot elements of Fassbinder films, which were like deeply researched and portrayed to talk about depression and the suicide of Fassbinder's partner, and then John Cameron Mitchell turns it into comedy about botched bottom surgery that is like forced upon the main character. So it's got this idea of like transness as a lack of choice, which I fucking hate. And then it ends with that character like in the stupidest way possible defying gender and walking out into the street nude. Nah, man. He's tried to win it over by being like, anyone can play Hedwig, ha 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 ha. And I'm like, no, that's not fixing it.
Help the story.
No, it's like it's a bigger problem that you yourself wrote, starred, and directed this thing. That's a problem. It's even more so the actual narrative of the thing. So I fucking loathe that movie. I hate it so much. That is like my top 5 most hated movies ever. And I'm mad that I got a Criterion release.
I'm really sorry I brought it up. I won't defend it. I understand why the movie is hated. I'm not a fan. I was in 2003, I will admit.
Yeah, it's a very like 90s, early 2000s kind of movie. Yeah. And the people that I know that are like big fans of it are all gay men who like that was kind of their like late teens, early 20s kind of like era. And like I don't harp on people for that, which is why I'm not the one who's constantly like tweeting out or like hopping on a soapbox every single day being like, this movie's the worst, it should be stripped from shelves and burned in the streets. Like I'm not doing that. However, if it gets brought up in casual conversation, I'm going to very quickly be like, I fucking hate that movie.
Yeah, I have left that movie in 2005 or whenever year it came out. But I'm sorry I brought it up. If anyone, I don't mean to offend anybody.
You're not offending anyone at all, and I think this was a conversation I've been waiting to have on an open mic. So I'm glad that I was finally able to have it. If you're a fan of Hedwig and the Angry Inch and you want to write me a long essay about the things that you find a value in it and things that you find beautiful and touching for you personally, you can write that up and shove it up your ass, and I don't want to read it.
I just, there are like problematic movies that have aged like milk that I will defend and love.
Yeah,
and
same.
All of that. This isn't one of them. This is one that I was quite happy to leave in the past because I have so many trans people in my life, and I understand now. Just
because we're talking about this, like, I am, like, Silence of the Lambs also has huge fucking problems, but I can, like, forgive some of those problems because they're not so stretched into the core DNA of everything about it. Even, like, Dress to Kill has, like, famously has problems. However, Dress to Kill also, like, has trans sympathy. Dress to Kill has, like, an actual trans woman in the middle of the movie talking about her life as a trans woman, and also has a very like earnest and like non-judgmental discussion that's also like very frank and medically accurate on medical transition at the end of the film, which is played for humor, but only in the way of an old woman clutching her pearls at hearing this. The two main characters who are actually having this conversation are super non-judgmental and like kind of like lovingly interested in it, and even have sympathy for, you know, spoiler alert, the trans character that's not treated very well by the movie. But like I love that movie, and I love like Bob Clark's She-Man, A Story of Fascination. I love these like.
I've never heard of that.
It's Bob Clark's first movie before A Christmas Story.
Called She-Man?
Before Black Christmas. It's the first thing he ever made. It was shot on like a Herschel Gordon Lewis budget at like a motel in Florida. It's called She-Man: A Story of Fascination. And it is about an evil transsexual dominatrix who kidnaps lesbians and kidnaps the sons of wealthy politicians and blackmails the lesbians into being her sex slaves, and blackmails the men into forcefully transitioning.
Oh my god.
But like, it's really sweet. Like the main trans woman who's like, you know, kidnapped and forcefully transitioned falls in love with one of the like blackmailed lesbians, and they like escape their captor and like decide to live their life together as lesbians in the end. And I'm like, that's amazing, guys. You like, and it's one of those like 70s exploitation movies that starts with a doctor at a desk being like, "This is medical fact. We're here to tell you about these aberrant behaviors, not to look on them with judgment or scorn, but to see them as pure medical oddity, so we can have compassion and kindness for our neighbors."
Do you know what I was impressed by seeing it for the first time? And maybe I'm wrong here, but I saw it for the first time in 2020, Dog Day Afternoon.
Yeah.
I was surprised by how thoughtful and like sympathetic it was to the trans issue.
Yeah,
I was
and
impressed by it.
The one thing that like that's also based on a true story.
Yeah, it's a true story.
And they changed it quite a bit for the movie. So like Al Pacino is still with his trans partner, which like, okay, it's the 70s. She's played by Chris Sarandon.
Right. Oh,
not great, but Chris Sarandon's hot, so I'm kind of okay with it. And spoiler alert if you haven't seen a 40-year-old movie, but Pacino dies in the end. In real life, that guy survived, A.
Oh.
B, broke up with his partner before the bank heist, because he was a gay man, and when she came out as trans, they like amicably broke up. But he was still committed to her, which is why he did the heist. Did not get away with it, went to jail. And then when Sidney Lumet and the producers of the film came to him and were like, "We want to get your life story to make a movie out of it," he took all of that money, gave it to her so she could have bottom surgery.
Oh, well, that's nice.
So the existence of Dog Day Afternoon, the entire existence of that movie, helped a woman medically transition.
That's so cool.
Yeah, right? So the lesson of The Lure and of Dog Day Afternoon is to eat men and rob banks. In the support of the trans agenda.
Yes, we stand the trans agenda here at Bloodhouse. That was a fun conversation. Let's transition to another fun conversation. Have they seen it? The game where we speculate wildly about whether notable figures have seen the movie. I'll go first. I have a Polish American in mind, and it is noted himbo Antony from Queer Eye.
Okay, all right.
He's like very Polish American.
Okay, so remember how you brought up Hedwig earlier, and that was like the excuse to get mad at you? Here's the excuse to get mad at me. I don't know the Queer Eye members apart. Drusilla, I don't know which is which. I know which one's Jean Van Ness, and that's about it.
Antony is the cute white one, basically.
Sure.
He's the food one, even though he can't cook. He's like, I put potato chips on a hot dog. Literally. I hate Queer Eye. I hate it. And people think I'm such a curmudgeon because it's a show where gay men just go to poor towns and tell poor people to moisturize and then leave. It's like it's a mom of 5 kids who has 3 jobs, and they're like, just moisturize, and then they're gone. That's basically Queer Eye for you.
My mom loves it. I'm sure I could ask her which one's
People
Anthony,
love it,
and she would be like, that one. The one that I got that recipe from, and I'd be like, okay. I'm gonna say, no, he hasn't seen it. Just off the top of my head. I'm gonna say
he has,
but who I feel like absolutely has seen it, and I don't even know his fucking name. The guy from Queer Eye who does the fashion. What's his name?
From the old?
No, the new one.
Karamo.
Karamo. I feel like Karamo has seen The Lure.
Oh wait, no, Tan. Tan is the one. Tan's like the British Indian guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's the hot one.
He's hot.
I feel like Tan has seen The Lure.
I think
Tan feels like a New Yorker with taste,
Yeah. Well, he's a Londoner, point in fact.
But doesn't he live? Don't they all live in the U.S. now?
I actually think that he lives in L.A. I'm not sure.
Oh, sin. Oh, no. Yeah. Only awful people live there.
I think that Anthony has seen it because he speaks Polish and he's like very connected to, and he's like, he wears a Strokes t-shirt. So he's like a little bit cooler than a normal gay, quote unquote. You know what I mean? He likes rock music and he speaks Polish and,
well, then God, I hope he has, because this movie needs an audience.
Otherwise, it's like, I would be frustrated if he hadn't seen it based on all of these things.
But I would also be excited because that means you get to show him The Lure.
I don't want to show him anything. I think that he's hot and he seems like a perfectly nice person, but I don't want to I don't think I could be friends with him. You know what I mean? Like, he's an A gay in New York, and we have plenty of A gays in LA that I'm not friends with. And I don't need that in my life.
I get
that kind of stress.
I get that. I understand that.
I don't want to be anyone's ugly friend. You know what I mean?
You could never look at yourself. You are a hot blonde himbo. Live your best life.
Hit me with somebody.
So, as being such a music movie and as being such a trans movie, and honestly, the only people who I know who have even seen The Lure are either Criterion nerds, horror nerds, or trans film watchers. Okay. So even people who are in the music world don't really know this movie, which is such a shame to me, because as a bass player, it's sexy.
Yeah.
So I want to know if famous trans punk rock icon Laura Jane Grace has seen The Lure.
Ooh, what band is Laura Jane Grace from?
Of Against Me?
Oh, of Against Me. I don't know Against Me. It was after my time, is the truth. But I do remember her transitioning. I remember it being in the news.
Against Me was absolutely during your time. You just weren't listening. Anyway, they kick so much ass. They are great. And a lot of their album covers are designed by former guest Stake Mountain.
Stake Mountain. I know that. I don't know. What era were they at? What years were they active? Why did I miss them? I mean, I knew of them, of course.
They're still active, technically.
Well, yes.
But their, first couple big singles, I Was a Teenage Anarchist and stuff like that, all came out, between 2005 to 2009-ish. Right. And then she transitioned in 2012.
I remember her transition in the news.
And then we got Transgender Dysphoria Blues, which is one of the greatest albums of all time, in 2013, 2014? 2014, era, yeah.
I was listening to Santa Gold and Goldfrapp and I don't know, whatever else. The Libertines, MIA.
Well, if you like the Libertines,
I love the Libertines.
I also love MIA.
Gossip. I was really into Gossip that decade. Mm-hmm.
Well, then they're you'll love Against Me. They're from Florida and they kick ass.
I listened to the Trans album. So has she seen it? Yeah, I think she's seen it.
Yeah, she's a really big horror fan. During the beginning of lockdown, she put out secret albums or singles, I guess, on SoundCloud as the artist name, which is Angela, and I can't remember the last name, but it was the character from Sleepaway Camp.
Oh, cool.
And she really just cool. Everyone was like, wow, new Laura Jane Grace stuff. And she was like, no, it's not me. That's clearly this Angela girl. I don't know who she is.
I love that.
She's a really big horror fan, so I assume she's seen The Lure.
I bet she's seen it.
But if she hasn't,
we could find out through Steak Mountain, probably.
Mm-hmm. But Laura, if you haven't, you should come out to LA and we can watch it together. I would love to show it to you. Or you can come on the podcast. And we can talk
we'll watch it again. We'll do it again.
We'll do it again just for you, Laura, if you would like. What about you, Josh? Is there anyone else you have in mind?
Yeah, this one's so dumb. I was just literally Googling Polish Americans, and I'm almost positive this person is not Polish at all. Because they have a Danish last name or a Swedish last name.
I have a Polish mother.
Scarlett Johansson has seen The Lure?
I do not think Scarlett Johansson has seen The Lure. I don't think ScarJo has seen it. I think Thora Birch has seen it.
Thora Birch. I think Thora Birch is more basic than you think because she didn't understand Enid Coleslaw, the character from Ghost World. She's like, this character's nothing like me. I feel like the real Thora Birch is like kind of basic. But I will say in a tally in her favor is that she's an Under the Skin, which I know that you don't like.
Nah,
but it is an art house horror movie.
Yes.
I don't know.
I mean, it's
I could
possible.
go either way here.
I feel like the only way she would have seen it is if she had been at Sundance circa 2015, 2016. Yeah. When this was coming out. And then if everyone was like, there's this great mermaid movie, ScarJo, we gotta go. Which is how I assume everyone gets her to do anything. They say, ScarJo, we gotta go! Like Transformers.
I think when someone wants Scarlett Johansson to do something, they drive a Brinks truck full of money to her house in the Hamptons. She's the highest paid actress in the entire world.
Yeah, I believe that. Must be nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's married to Colin Jost, so like her life isn't that nice.
Could be better. Be better. So, all right. This is someone that we mentioned already on this episode, but as long as we're talking about Polish cinema, I have to know. Do you think Roman Polanski has seen The Lure?
Yeah. I think he follows the festivals. Mm-hmm. I think he saw it.
What do you think?
I don't think he likes it, though.
Interesting. Why not?
I think it's because he's very masculine-minded. And I feel like it comes from such a young woman's perspective of the world that he wouldn't appreciate it.
I could see him getting into it. I could see him enjoying it. But I could also see that, like, if he ever, like, you know, was asked in some interview if he liked The Lure and he said yes, I feel like the director of this movie would be like, well, disowning that movie. Which is a shame because this movie is a delight and she shouldn't. It's one of the greatest
all
films
sorts of
the past
terrible
few
people
years.
can enjoy this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Including me.
Awful people, if you want to watch The Lure, you're always more than welcome to. It's streaming on HBO Max and the Criterion Channel, and you're allowed to like it, even if we don't want you to.
Well, I think that's it for this episode of Bloodhouse. If you like the show, please rate it on Apple, and you can follow us on socials, Bloodhouse Pod, and you can email us at bloodhousepod@gmail.com. Drusilla, where can people find you?
You can find all of my art over at sisterhidedesign.com, or you can find me on social media and kind of only Instagram these days over at Hide Sister. And I'm also on Letterboxd. What about you, Josh?
I'm at Joshua Conkle on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. Drusilla, what are we watching next week for a bit of fun and levity?
Well, after The Lure, I felt like we could use a lot more surgery on women. So we're going to watch Frankenhooker.
Yay! Looking for a date? Looking for some action? Got any money?
Dr. Jersey Boy!
Thank you so much. We'll see you next week for Frankenhooker.